Hey YouTube, welcome back to Axes and Allies, the Garrison. This is your host, Detroit, with another episode of the YouTube Wars. We're coming to you from the bunker here in Rochelle Park, New Jersey, for you guys to enjoy. All right, guys, so it is the beginning of episode 7.6, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 7.6. It is Italy's turn, and Italy is currently under the command of our good friend, Hilltop Pillbox, who has proven his mettle in this game. Without a doubt, Hilltop has not disappointed and has proven to all of us who are participating in this game and to all of those of you who are watching that he's got the right stuff. And yes, he definitely does. And besides that, including that, he is a great gentleman. And so glad to have met, not personally, but at least through social media, to have met, to have gotten to meet and make an acquaintance of Hilltop Pillbox. All right, so let's get to it, guys. It is more than halfway through round 7, and we are so close, okay? I have to admit that the past round and a half, the tide has turned against the Axis powers, okay? I'm not quite certain where we went wrong or what transpired, but it is something that may merit a future video where we go into details as far as what happened in this specific stage of the game. I am not saying, though, that we're going to lose this conflict. Far from it. The Axis actually can still win this game. And that's why the Allies are trying very hard and are doing their best at stopping the Axis powers from achieving the ultimate objective of achieving 12 victory points by the end of round 8. Guys, let me know, as always, what your thoughts are regarding the strategies and tactics that we're using in this game. Enjoy. Hey YouTube, it is episode 7.6 and Hilltop Pillbox will make his moves with the Italians. So, what is the current ground and naval situation for the Italians? Well, in the Middle East, it seems at this point in time that the Italians are poised to remain and win the battle for the Middle East. As it turns out, the British have turned their attention back onto Japan. So, it'll be most likely, at least it looks like at this point in time, like the Italians will remain in possession of most of the, actually not most, but a good chunk of the Middle East and Northern Africa. That's what it looks like right now. So it looks like the British will be unable to break into the Mediterranean. That's what the situation is in this region. All right, Morocco. The U.S. is currently in control of Morocco. Italy must come eventually to this region and retake Morocco if it plans to take the victory objective point of New Rome. This is a critical territory, as well as Egypt itself. Let's hope that the Italians can pull it off for the Axis allies. All right, so let's go ahead then with the purchases that the Italians made. Hilltop Pillbox purchased with his 36 IPCs a total of 3 naval transports, 1 armored division, 1 artillery division, and 2 infantry divisions. Hilltop Pillbox declared a total of 2 battles, and they go as follow. 1 Italian armored division coming from Alexandria will move east, will be attacking the single French infantry division defending Egypt. Okay, you'll also have 1 fighter squadron coming in at a movement of 1. This fighter squadron will have 3 movements left in its fuel gauge. That attack will be supported by a strategic bomber, an Italian strategic bomber coming from Algeria at a movement of 1, 2, 3, and 4. This strategic bomber will also have 3 movements left in its fuel gauge. All right, so that's what we have in this attack. All right, the attack for Transjordan. You'll have 1 naval transport coming into Greece. We'll pick up 1 artillery, 1 infantry, move back into Sea Zone 95. We'll perform an amphibious landing and we'll be attacking the 2 remaining British armored divisions in Transjordan. All right, this attack will be supported by air support, where you'll have 1 tactical bomber and 1 fighter squadron joining that attack at a movement of 1. These aircraft will have 3 movements left in their fuel gauges. In addition, there's an additional fighter coming in from the Italian carrier in C-Zone 95 that will be joining that attack as well. So these are the 2 battles that the Italians have declared for their turn in round 7. All right, the order of battles have been declared, and let's review what the results were. The battle for Egypt. The French infantry division was eliminated, destroyed. This French Foreign Legion has a great history and unfortunately could not repeat the victories of the past. All right, so Egypt has fallen, and Egypt is now under the control of the Italian forces. All right, Transjordan, same result. The 2 defending British armored divisions were destroyed. On their return fire, the Italians did not sustain any casualties, and for that matter, the Italians did not sustain any casualties in Egypt. All right, so the Italians have regained Cairo, which means they have 1 victory point in the bag for now. All right, so let's go ahead with the non-combat movements that Hilltop Pillbox made for his Italian forces. All right, so you'll have 1 naval transport off the coast of Algeria, C-Zone 92. This naval transport is going to pick up 1 artillery division, okay, and it'll move at a movement of 1, 2, okay, and it will drop off the artillery in southern Italy. Okay, so that's where that naval transport and the artillery are currently. All right, the strategic bomber that is currently in Normandy, Bordeaux, will move at a movement of, let me get that chip, movement of 1, 2, and 3, and it will land in southern Italy as well. The naval transport, okay, in C-Zone 97 will pick up 2 infantry divisions. There's still 1 remaining here, okay, in Greece. That naval transport will make steam and go into C-Zone 95 and will drop off the 2 infantry divisions in southern Italy. Okay. There are 2 Italian naval transports in C-Zone 95. One of the 2, I actually borrowed a Japanese naval transport from an old collection that I had. This naval transport will pick up 1 infantry, okay, and it'll sail and make steam or move into C-Zone 97, but it'll drop off 1 infantry in southern Italy as well. Okay. All right. The remainder of the Italian fleet currently in C-Zone 95 will make steam at a movement of 1, okay, and 2, and will now link up with the 2 naval transports in C-Zone 95. All right. Let's go ahead and land a few aircraft. I know some of you may have noticed that I made a couple of errors with my fuel gauge dice. I have corrected them already, and each die will now depict the actual movements left for each aircraft on the board right now. So the fighter that came from the carrier, okay, in C-Zone 95, the Italian carrier in C-Zone 95, okay, will take off, will continue its fight actually at a movement of 2, 3, and 4, and will land on the Italian carrier in C-Zone 95. So now what you have in C-Zone 98 are just 1 Italian and 1 German transport. So a total of 2 naval transports. These naval transports, if attacked, will defend at a die roll of 1. All right. These 2 aircraft, the fighter and tactical bomber squadrons that came from Alexandria, have 2 movements left. They'll move back into Alexandria at a movement of 3 and 4. Okay. 3 and 4. Let's move those. All right. The strategic bomber okay, that came over. Actually, this, I didn't correct this one. This strategic bomber act, no, it is correct. It does have two movements left. The strategic bomber that came from Algeria and attacked Egypt, this strategic bomber has two movements left in his field gauge, and it'll go 1 and 2. It'll land in Tobruk. All right, and last but not least, we have one fighter, okay, that came from Alexandria. This fighter will have 3 movements left in its field gauge, okay, and it'll move at a movement of 3. It'll be 1, 2, and 3, and it's now landed in Libya. All right, that's it for the movements, the non-combat movements in this region of the game map. Okay, let's go like that. Let's go over into northern Italy, where we have several movements that yet need to be made. All right, you have one infantry division coming from northern Italy moving into Yugoslavia, the movement of 1. Okay, then you have one AAA. It's going to be railed into Poland at a movement of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, let me make this correction here. All right. In addition, you have one final movement. You have one Italian AAA coming from southern Italy, and it'll move at a movement of 3. 1, 2, and 3. And that's because it's being railed into Berlin. All right, let's go ahead now with the final placements of the newly purchased and or recruited units that the Italians made. 3 naval transports will be placed in Zone 95, and they'll be produced from the major industrial complex in northern Italy. That's 3 naval transports. You'll also have 1 infantry being placed in northern Italy, and you'll be having 1 armor, 1 artillery, and an additional infantry division being placed in southern Italy. Okay, and you can see that Italy is preparing itself for an eventual amphibious operation. Question is where? Of course, common sense dictates that Morocco is the target that Hilltop Pillbox is aiming at. Just one correction, guys. It turns out that the carrier that was moved into C-Zone 95 that came from C-Zone 98 actually ended up in C-Zone 96, as well as this fighter that had attacked Egypt. This fighter had enough fuel in its fuel gauge and its gas tank to be able to land into C-Zone 96. So currently in C-Zone 96, you have a carrier that is fully loaded with 2 fighter squadrons. Basically, that's about it. I believe Italy will be collecting a total of 29 IPCs, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, it's slightly less than what it made last time, but I believe that Italy lost a national objective, and that's the reason. And I think it was the national objective of Gibraltar. It does not control Gibraltar, so the port's national objective. So hence, Italy is collecting less income this turn around that will be carrying over to turn 8. All right. So what is the current status with the victory points? Okay, so the Axis currently, Germany and Italy have a total of 6 victory points combined, and they are Paris, Berlin, Warsaw, Rome, the victory objective of the Mediterranean, and Cairo. So that's a total of 6 victory points. We have to add that on to the current that Japan has, and that is Calcutta is 1, Southeast Asia is 2, Philippines is 3, Tokyo is 4. So that's 10 victory points that the Axis powers have, okay, currently, and we must still acquire an additional 2. Yep, needless to say, the Axis powers do have their work cut out for them. It is an uphill struggle at this point in time. The last round or two, the tide of war did change, I would say, in favor of the Allies. But needless to say, it's not over, as they say, until the fat lady sings. The Axis can still most definitely win this game. Just it's going to be a little bit harder than what we thought. All right, guys, this is the end of episode 7.5. I hope you enjoyed this turn. I apologize if I appear to be a little bit rushed, but that's exactly what is going on. I'm trying to produce and edit these videos, these episodes for you to watch as quickly as possible so that I can also attempt to keep up with my friends who are currently playing this game. Guys, as always, let me know what your thoughts and opinions are regarding the strategies and tactics that we're using in this game. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and as always, don't forget to bunker down and play.